this script will be run. The playbook script will be running. Even I don't know what is playbook, what it contains, but Ansible is a scripting tool that is for configuration. So what we are configuring, whatever we require to run one WebSphere application server, all those steps are written into one playbook. So it is going to play that one so that all the scripts will be executed in shell or some other script. So Ansible uses for that one. Ansible is running here, then it will start executing the playbook one by one task. In the playbook, you are going to have some set of tasks. One by one, it is going to install. So in this one, what I understood, JDK is installed, OpenJDK. Git, just now we have seen that Git, that is a software code you can store from there. So you can get the code from there, and then you have the software. You need to copy that installation manager. So installation manager is going to you are going to place in the this directory vas 8 underscore 5 install directory. If you place there, it will automatically reads that zip file, and it will unzip, and it will check the spaces required, and then it is going to execute that entire installation process. So normally how we are going to install in silent mode, say in the command prompt, the same thing is used in the Ansible task. Okay, once this is completed successfully, then you are going to get the one server is running on your virtual box
No, we
application
don't need
server.
to define the parameters.
You don't need to define any parameters. So it will be creating only one application server, and that
Only
name
standalone.
only standalone server one will be created. And this is a script, is it is going to run command for running the server.
Now, what is the initial process? Because I missed the static steps.
Yeah, it is very simple. You need to download the softwares. Download Vagrant, download Oracle VirtualBox. So what it is doing, from your command prompt, you are going to run the Vagrant command. Then it is going to invoke the VirtualBox. Then it is internally calls the Ansible playbook that will provision actually on your Ubuntu box. So once Ubuntu box is created, on that one you are going to get the, you need to place the installation manager into one specific directory. From there you can the installation manager will install the WebSphere. After that it is going to run the one application server. But after installation you can play with it. That box is ready. You can run the profile scripts, and you can create your own things.
Okay, to install VAS, we don't need to edit any response files.
Yeah, nothing that is not required in this one. So it will create one standalone application server. Just go through this link and you can find more and more. Okay, so let us start today's session. So hope you will set up before coming to the next session. So today I will start little bit basics. Praveen, yes means Sudhir, right?
Yeah.
Sudhir, Praveen, and Preetham. Okay, cool. Okay, you have any questions? Just raise. So I'm making you guys mute. Okay, unmute and talk. Okay, fine. I have one more option here. Right. So Jython for VAS admin. So why we are going to learn, what is the purpose, we have already seen in the first session. So today I'll just talk about how we can trick and make faster. So here, if you are going to have some basic idea about the shell scripting, that will give more faster accessibility and flexibility for your writing the scripts. So if you are having a Windows environment, we have to run .bat, and if you are having shells, Unix, AX, Solaris machines, then .sh. That is a common thing. So normally when we are running this wsadmin.sh or .bat, it is looking for two different scripts again. It is going to call a command line script first, and it is looking for properties also. So when it is looking for properties, then it is identify what kind of language it has to use. So by default, it is using jacl. So all the versions 6, 7, 8, 8.5 also using the same jacl as a default scripting language. So if you want to use Jython, you can mention in the command line -lang, then you can mention Jython. Then if you want to connect to the running application server, then you can give the arguments, command line arguments, username, then followed by the actual username, then -password, then you can give the password. So this will connect to your DMGR. So deployment manager, you're connected means you are able to access entire cell. You can connect to DMGR, you can connect to an application server, you can directly have the shell, this WASX shell. This is a new shell. Just like bash shell and other shells, we have a new shell that is included features of Jython shell and features of JMX capabilities. JMX means Java Management Extension, which is available in your VAS. And Jython, it is a normal scripting language, just like our Python or shell. It is a shell. On that one, it is imposed with the Java based management extensions. So whenever it is accessing all the variables, whatever you are accessing, that is one object, because Java is an object oriented programming language and Jython is imported, it is inherited from the Python and Java. So Jython uses the same concept of object orientation. If I say x is equal to 10, x is one object. If I say some y is equal to string, then that y is also an object. So don't worry much what is object orientation. I will come to one by one step. So we try to understand what variables, how we can use the variables in our Jython. Okay. So if you want to provide more accessibility, I prefer to give the bash profile. So whenever you are logged into any Unix shell, the login shell is bash shell, sh or ksh. These shells are actually starts. It is going to have one separate file, that is if it is a bash shell, then it is .bash underscore profile, or it can be .bash rc. Okay, so these files are called logon profile scripts. So we can edit that one. Whenever you write something in that one, that will be executed first time whenever you log in. If you edit dot profile, it will work in Bourne shell, it will work in C shell. No, C shell is having another one. So con shell, ksh underscore profile. So like that, we have different shells, different profiles, logon profiles are there. So in that one, if you mention a few parameters like vas admin, vas home, you are going to define, or profile definition you can have, and then you can use that variables and you can create alias names. Aliases are shortcuts. So alias is used for just doing multiple commands at one line. So if you see the last line in this slide, alias wsadmin, when I type this one, it will go to the dmgr bin directory, and then it will execute the wsadmin shell, and it is going to give the option as Jython. So these two things it is doing, changing directory to that particular dmgr bin directory, and then it is doing the execution of wsadmin shell with Jython option. Okay, so in once this is included in the bash profile, it will automatically execute it whenever I am running in a shell. So let us see how it works in my system. I'll show you just a moment. See here, I have just logged in. So in this one, if you see ls-la, why I am giving a means it is a hidden file. So here I have dot bash rc dot bash underscore profile. So in this file I have entered the variables. So this will be executed automatically. So I have this profile bin and then I am giving the ws admin. If I want here itself, I can mention insert and I can say hyphen lang Jython. Okay. So if I want to execute this bash profile, I can say here bash underscore profile. Okay, it is done. So now if I say ws admin, enter, it is automatically doing the what I need to do. It is going to directory where the profile is there, and then it is automatically connecting to the Jython shell. If I am not mentioning Jython, it is going to connect to the jacl. How do you know it is a jacl or it is a Jython? This line help you to understand. This line will be coming without print and you are getting dollar help, then that is a jacl. And if you are getting this one, it is a Jython. Very simple. Okay. So this will give the help object. You can have easy accessibility about all things. Okay, so we'll come back to our slide. So whenever you are defining some profile variables, what we can define in the real-time projects. In real-time projects, you can define path, you can define VAS home. This is important. DMGR, what DMGR name is there, that one you can define. App servers, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, you can define that one. And DMGR bin, most commonly we are navigating, you can create aliases to easy navigation. WS admin just now we have seen. Node, we are going to start node. So you can navigate to node bin, you can start the node and you can have the DMGR start shortcuts. So like this you can make multiple things. For logs you can create for different logs, standard output, yeah, system out, system error, you can have the shortcuts and you can access that one very easily. Okay, so this is all about basic trick about the profile. So how to begin the script? When you are writing a script, what all the things you need to think in your mind? That first you have to describe what task you are going to do. Suppose I want to make one script for creating a server. Very small task I will take. So that one, if I wish, what I need to do? If I want to create a server, what you will do in the administration console, same steps I will write. In general, English, we will try to write the task. The set of tasks we are going to first write. Then, what are the methods related to that? Okay, so then we are going to have the identification which are required for this task. Suppose I want to create a server, I need to get a cell ID, that is identification required. Okay, so same way, suppose I want to create a cluster, I must have server IDs, I must have node IDs. These are the identification parameters I should get. From where I have to get? From the existing cell. So that step I will write. Then you are going to experiment from the shell, WS admin shell. There I am going to test that one. After interactively it is working, that commands I am going to copy paste into a notepad or a file. That file I am going to have some parameterization. If I want to repeat the task, if I want to do the server creation task multiple times, how I can do? I want to pass the name for the server, and I want to pass some properties. So these values, if I am able to pass from the command line, the same thing I will do from a function. So I can make one function, create a server. So like this, I can construct a script. So number of functions if I create, I can build a bigger script. So this is how we can start beginning of a script. Small we'll do, try to do execute what the logic we are want to execute, and then we are trying to make that one experimenting and try to pass parameterizing and experimenting again and again. Use the iterations. You can use the programming controls. So programming like controls, like you want to make some if and else choices. You want to provide looping constructs. You want to make some 10 servers, then how we can make? You can iterate it using loops. You can use for loop, you can use while loop. So like this, we are going to identify which one is better one, how we can make iteratable program. So this is how we can begin constructing the script. You have any questions?
Pawan, Pawan,
Yeah. Yes, please.
yeah, your voice is not clear, means getting some voice in background.
Okay. I just reconnected. Now, hello.
Yeah, sometimes it is okay, but sometimes some beep voice,
Uh-huh.
getting some beep voice.
Okay. Whenever you are not able to hear, let me know. I will repeat again. Okay. So here, the Python creator, Jython is created from Python. So why Python is created? The same properties are included in Jython also. The Python language is created in 1985, and it was released in 90s. So 5 years they built the first version, 0.1 version. So that time he mentioned what he researched on it, what are the things he implemented into the Python, what are the best qualities included in the Python, and why it is built. We have a lot of languages already. C language, COBOL, Pascal, a lot of languages were there at the time of 80s, 90s. So the main reason, my original motivation for creating Python was the perceived need for a higher level language. It is a higher level language in the MOB operating system project. I realized that the development of system administration utilities, Shell is having already, AWK is there, SED there, C programming is also there. All these are not giving the completeness for the administrator, system administrator, any system administrator. The administrator can be Unix administrator or DBA or any system application server administrator. He is not able to work with one utility. That is the main reason Python is given. So the moreover doing these things in the Bourne shell, if you see Bourne shell, it wouldn't work for the variety of reasons. Lot of things I cannot get from the Bourne shell, and lot of things cannot be done in the C. If you go for C, I'm going to have a lot of lines which are declaring the variables. Lot of time is wasted for creating the objects, creating the memory variables. If you go for the shell, it is saving the time, but it doesn't have the capability of storing the records. it cannot have the connectivity record relationships. So that was the missing. The missing, if you see the comparison between the shell and programming languages, whatever it is missing, that all combined and given into your Python. A variable you can define, you don't need to tell that what is the type in shell. That is advantage. That advantage is available in Python or Jython. If you go for the C programming, there is the biggest problem why C is not in every e-commerce projects, because it is having the problem of memory leaks. It is having the limitation. It is not having the proper control over the memory. So here Python and Jython is having alternative JVMs. VMs are there. So whenever you run WS admin, it is going to create one VM. Okay, so that JVM is going to have internally garbage collection mechanism. Your memory leak problems are solved and it is given the better option in Python and in Jython. So Python evolution happened from 91 to 90, so 85 to 91. So the next is 7 years took for creation, including Java in Python code. That is done by Jim Huggins, but he left from the Jython ownership. Jython is now open source and it is not owned by anyone, one person. But whereas in Python, Van Rossum is the only one person. He is still owning this Python. So that's why it is under control. This is not under control. 5 years nobody touched the Jython. The 2.1 version, after Jython 2.1, nobody changed to the next release because the owner of this Jython left to join the Microsoft and he created Iron Python. He worked on another project. So that's why the WS admin also is not having the best features. Even if you take latest version, WS admin with latest version 8.5.56, that is also having Jython 2.1. That is a bad luck. Now the latest version Jython is 2.7. 2.7 is having lot of features. Compare with the 2.1, definitely it will have. Every release they are going to have the new features introduced. So they have threading concepts, multi-threading concepts which are there in the Java and Python included in the Jython with the best features. One more thing, the data which you are going to do for monitoring, you can do with the Tivoli and other tools. The same thing you can do with the Jython. You can collect some files, you can make the CSV files. So comma separated files you can generate and you can make graphs, etc. All these are possible with the modules, Java based, Jython based modules. So that is included in the latest versions. So if you want to use the latest version, you need to set up the class path differently. Okay, how the Jython works. The script, Jython script, what we are going to write, that is we are giving as extension .py. That will goes to Jython compiler, that is uses different libraries, Java libraries, Python libraries, Jython libraries, and also it uses WebSphere JMX. So WebSphere related JMX extra Java package libraries are included for compilation of the Jython scripts. So WS admin scripts will be executed, compiled and executed in two phases. First phase, it is going to convert all the code into bytecode. Then it will be running on JVM. It requires one JRE that requires one specific memory space in your RAM, and then it is going to execute using the JITs interpreters. Whenever it is interpreting, it is going to execute one by one line. Programming languages are two types. One is compiler language, another one is interpreter language. But Jython is both the things included. First it is compiling, converting into bytecode, then half part is done, it will become interpretation. That will be compiled by the JIT compilers. Then it is giving the output on the screen. Okay, so this is how the whole process of execution a Jython script works. So that's why in WS admin script .shr.bat there is different Java options. The Java options are for this JVM. How much space? The script is very big. I want more space. More objects need to be created. Then I need to increase the memory space also. When I am running the script, I need more memory. So that parameters you can mention in the Java hyphen options. Okay, so these options where we can mention where we are running the ws admin, where you are having the command option ws admin hyphen java options, there you can mention how much memory you want. You can specify a minimum maximum of this jvm. Okay, java features are included, python features are included in Jython, and as I mentioned it is best of both the scripting and languages. So you're going to have the first feature, that is dynamic typed data. And as I mentioned, object orientation is coming from the Python and Java. Both are derived, that's why it is having everything is object. And it is an interpretation language. It is any scripting language, it is an interpreted language. It is not a compiler. So here it is, whenever it is having some 10 lines, 10 lines of script for example if you have, then if it is having some error in third line, it will shows the third line error only, it doesn't show all the errors. Whereas in compilation language it will show, it trace entire first phase, it is going to check all the lines, it will find 100 lines, 100 lines it is having some 70 lines errors. So compilation will give more errors, whereas interpretation will give stops wherever the first error is there, there it will stop. If you solve the first problem, remaining all errors will goes. That's why interpretation is very simple, easy for us. Cross-platform. Once you have created one script in Unix environment or Linux environment, the same thing I can use in Windows script also, Windows based WebSphere also I can use the same. Okay, so the cross platform is allowed because it is a Java based JVM we are using. Java main theme is write once, run anywhere. The same thing is applicable in Jython also. It is easy to extensible. You can extend Java, you can extend any C or other language modules, functions into your Jython. It is flexible in making your scripts. So these are the best features you can have in Jython. Okay, so if I have one example for dynamic type, one if I take x is equal to 6, it is an integer type. After that, next line if I write x is equal to high, then it became a string type. I'm not mentioning int type or string type. It is automatically changing. The x is changing dynamically. Initially it is integer type, now it is string type. How it is possible? The script, shell script, or this what Jython script. The scripting property, first property is dynamic type. The type is you can change whatever the value you want to use. So every time it will use a different memory location. Variable will be same, x will be same, but memory location is changing. Data is changing. According to the data change, your type is changing. That's why it is called dynamic type language. In the Jython, we don't have these restrictions what other languages have. If you go for the bash shell, you have do and done for a if condition, while loop, some other blocks if you want to make in shell script. you need to mention these blocks. If you go for C or Java, you need to put flower brackets. And whenever you write a C program or Java program, you need to terminate a line with semicolon. The end of line should be closed. But in Jython, you don't need to give semicolon. You don't need to give semicolon at the end of the line. Okay, and whenever you are writing this script, it is a great discipline. This is required from a Python structure. So in the Python structure, I am telling very clearly, you have to follow the same thing. You don't need to read a separate Python programming. What I am teaching here, that will be enough for you. The program construct uses space. One space will start beginning of the new block, or you can give four space with one tab, or eight space tab also. You can use any one of the type of tab. In vi editor, when you press tab, it will take 8 spaces automatically. In notepad plus plus, there you can mention how many spaces you want for one tab. In notepad plus plus, it will take 4 spaces. So all these three options are allowed for program structure. Whenever you are making one block, if I am writing a if condition, I have to use one space. If I am writing for loop, I need to use one space or tab, anything you can use. So the block will constructed with 4 spaces, one space, or 8 space, anything. Semicolons are not required. Whenever you are using semicolon, that meaning is in the same line you want to write another statement. If you want to write 3-4 statements, then you can use a semicolon. If you don't want to use, then ignore the semicolons. Jython is flexible. How it is flexible? First, assignments. We try to understand all the assignment types. So assignment for a variable creates that variable. The variable is going to have type. Types does not need to be declared. You don't need to declare. In C language, in Java, you need to declare that type. Int A, you have to say. Then A is equal to 10, I can say. But in Jython, you can say directly A is equal to 10. That's it. Jython figures out the variable type on its own. It will find what is the type. If it is a M bean, it's a management bean, it will identify. If it is a Python object, it will identify. Assignment of the variable is done with equal to symbol. One single equal to is assignment. Assignment means you are storing the value. Okay. So S is equal to, I am saying app server 1. That is the assignment. S is now stored with the app server 1. I want to compare, then I can use double equal to. Is S is having app server 1, app server 2, you want to compare, then double equal to you have to use. For numerical operators, you have plus, minus, star, slash, percentage. These are all different parameters we try to execute when you are writing the programs functions. We'll try to execute all the operators. Okay, the special use of plus symbol in strings. String means whenever you are including single quotes, double quotes, there we are going to use the plus symbol for concatenation. Adding two strings. Concatenation means adding two strings. And percentage is used for string format. String format, you are going to mention percentage S means string. Percentage D, decimal value. Percentage L, long number. So these are the C style of formats. So you want to put all these XYZ variables into one line, and you want to make some sentence, you can make it using the string formats. You need these things sometimes for displaying purpose or for passing the values. So logical operators, very simple, straightforward English. You can have one condition and, in general English, and or you can use, or you can say not. So these are the logical operators you can have in your Jython. The basic printing command Simple one, you can have print. You want to display something, you are going to say print. And in Jython 2.1, whatever the objects returning on this, if you say help also, it is returning on the screen, it requires print. So latest version, if you have 2.7, then you don't need to have the print. But here it is requires print. 2.1 we have at the moment. So how do I check what version I have on my Jython? So I just show you how to check that version. So if I have wsadmin, I can say sys dot version. I got the version 2.1. 2.1 is a Jython version. Okay. Sys is what? Sys is the system. Version, you got it, that is Jython version. Same way, sys is having a lot of attributes. Out of that one, platform. It is using JVM Java 1.6. Okay, Java 1.6 JDK it is using in this WS admin. In 8.5, I'm running 8.5 WAS admin. So in that one, JDK is 1.6. Okay, so this information we can get from the sys. Sys is by default the module included in your WS shell. Okay, so here the program structure, how we can construct the program structure in general, the structure is defined like this. First you are going to have import statements. If you look at your Java program or any other programs, if you look for the C program or C++, first what we'll do, from which libraries we are connecting, that we are going to have on the top. Import statements are going to have that. I can import Python, I can import Jython libraries, I can import Java packages. And for us, already JMX is included in our shell. You can directly access. If you are connected to your DMGR, JMX packages are accessible. That's why we are able to see the help of uh, admin config, admin control. All these are JMX APIs. Okay, so that is available, and you can include that one. If you want some more extensions from the JMX, you can use them. And you can define variables. You have some 10 functions. In 10 functions you want one variable across all these functions, you can define that one as a global variable. You declare that variable in the top, and that will be accessible across all the functions. You can have functions, you can define the classes, you can define classes, Java classes kind of thing. So you can create a Jython classes, and class contains the two things. One is properties, another one is its functions. Combinedly you are calling attributes and methods. For object orientation, we are going to call the same things. You are going to have properties, you are going to have functions. The same thing we are calling it as a attributes and methods. So which are already defined, you can use directly. And if you want to know more about the existing objects, existing classes, then we have some keywords. You can define the class, you can define a function without using the keywords. Okay, so if you want to define a class, then what is the word I have to use? The class. If I want to define a function, then I have to use def. So first word I have to write def, then I have to write the function name or procedure name, then parameters. So that is a structure. Don't worry much at this moment. We'll try to discuss in more detail how to create a function, how to write a procedure, how to write a class, all those things. So after defining these classes, functions, then we can call the functions into main program. Some of the programs you are going to check whether it already having a main program. Why we are going to check that one means there is X program is called in Y program. You can execute some 2-3 programs into another program using exec file. Exec file means execute a file, another Jython file I want to execute, another Python program I want to execute in this program. So that's why what we want to check, that imported program is having a main program, then use this main program. For that one we are going to check if main is existing or not. Okay, at the moment don't worry much what is this checking main. Okay, so start one by one step, we'll try to understand what is main program. If you are not having any function, everything what you are having on the screen, that will be a main program. Main program calls subprograms. Subprograms means functions or classes. So this is what the program structure. Okay, the program execution, we have two modes. One is interactive mode. What I'm giving, whatever the commands I'm giving in the WS admin prompt, that is interactive mode. If I write into a script, if I write into a file and I want to call that one in the WS admin, I can call, or I can call within the WS admin prompt, I can use exec file. Okay, so this entering a command and viewing the response, command line prompt, that is interactive mode. So let us see how it is works. This is interactive mode. Here I am going to say hello Jython. I got the interactive output. And same thing, you can see x is equal to, I am saying 100, and then when I said x, I am getting the output. Interactively I am getting the values. And the same thing if I want to do with the script. Okay, so if you make another shell from there, right, so you can create a shell anywhere and you can provide the path. Okay, so here I'm going to make a directory scripts. Okay, then I'm going to say first. The extension you can give anything, that is optional.py. It's not compulsory for normal general programs, but if you are using this Python script for interacting with another script, or this first script I want to call in second script, then you must give .py. Got it? So if you don't have this calling in other program, you don't need to give the .py. You can just write first also, it will work. Any script, that is the same concept. Even shell script, it doesn't require .sh. It is just for our purpose. We need to understand it is a shell script. We are keeping in .sh. So .py, it's a Python script. Okay. So whenever you start writing in scripts, you can mention the first line is shabang line. You are writing hash. Then you are writing usr/bin. Then what I have to write here? If it is a Python, I am going to say Python, or if it is a bash, then bash, like that. So here we don't need to mention, it is not required. The first thing, hash means it's a comment. I can write about this script. The comments we can give two ways. One is simple scripting type. This is first script. Okay. Then you can have print statement. Sorry. Same starting and ending should be there. Starting with the double quotes, end with the double quotes. You can write another statement. You can use single quotes, double quotes. Okay, So in double quotes you can mention a single quote, okay, and you can have multiple lines. Um, I can mention here slash, and then I can say here, okay, let us see. This program I want to execute. Where it is? It is in home vagrant script first. Here script mode exec file bracket. I can give the path first. Then what is the file? First.py. I got the print statements executed. Okay, so this is how we can use the simple options we have: interactive mode and script mode. This is one type of script mode. I have another option, that is from the ws admin itself you can give the hyphen and f means file, which file I want to execute. From the command prompt itself I can use. Okay, here I can see that ws admin, then I can give this. If you are not giving the file hyphen f also, it will work. It's not working. It is just connected to the shell. Okay. So this is one way of execution. Other way we will see the next time. The text file you are going to create with the .py extension and then executing the Jython command and running the script. So invoking of how many statements you are keeping, that is becoming one script. You can have logics, you can have the different tasks you can define, and you can make the script, Jython script. So that contains Jython code and plus JMX commands. Okay, so this is how we can execute the program. So overall, the comparison if you take with the Jython and jacl is deprecated from 6 onwards. So IBM is recommending us to use Jython. Jython is flexible and object oriented. When you are using with a huge size of WebSphere environments, like if you have some 30-40 servers, then definitely you need a script. You cannot work with the only admin console. In that time, you need script automations required. Jython has object orientation capability compared with the jacl. Jacl doesn't have that one. Jacl is like only a shell script. So that's all from today's session. So you have any questions?
Yeah, Pravan, from 7 onwards, we can't use jacl.
You can use in 8 also. It is deprecated means you are recommended to use the Jython.
Okay.
It is
So
there.
leave about
It will exist, but you need to use the Jython. Preferable recommendation. That's it.
okay, we are invoking Jython through admin. So leave about WS admin.
Okay.
I just want to write a Jython scripts. So
Okay.
I need to download the software for that. I should
Yeah.
have the software on my laptop, the
You want?
Jython libraries and whatever.
Yes. You should have Jython library. You need to download Jython directly, and you have to get the JMX related jar files from the DMGR system. There is a thin kind.
I'm not using WebSphere here. I just want to use a Jython script.
Normal Jython scripting, you can just install jar file. Jython.jar is there. Any version 2.7, 2.5. Normal Jython, you can work on it.
Okay. So the Jython is used on only WebSphere or any other middleware components also.
WebLogic is
Vybhava
also
applies it.
using the Jython. WebLogic WLST is based on the same concept. It uses JMX of the WebLogic and it uses the same .py extensions. But in WebLogic, it is latest version.
So you said something that how can we know whether we are using Jython or jacl?
Yeah, first line you can see whenever you connect it to WS admin, you will get that one in the beginning.
Print help dot.
Yeah, print help you will get. So that indicates if you are not giving the hyphen this one this line is actually indicates. If you are having here dollar help, then that is a jackal. Dollar is not there
Okay.
means it is a Jython. So hope you guys set up your system and try to start ready for the next session so that we can begin with the small exercises and we can prepare scripts. Are you guys able to make it out? One virtual box.
No, still have not. We have to download it.